Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here. Well, it's really mega hot today. I've no idea what the temperature is, but it is absolutely sweltering outside. It's not in here. You might be able to hear a distant whirring of my aircon. This house does stay quite cool anyway. I think it's the way that the sun doesn't really beat down on the front of the house. Only early morning when it's not at its full strength. And it can blind you in the kitchen a little bit, so I had to pull the blind down a bit today. But even though it doesn't get mega hot in the house, it was still a bit too warm. So the aircon's on. And Fluffy, I don't understand her really. I opened the back door because the conservatory gets ridiculously hot. I mean, you wouldn't want to go out there, it's that bad. So I opened the door to let some breeze in, but there wasn't any. And she decided to come in and lay down in there. And it was like cooler outside. But I don't know why. But she just, I don't know, maybe she just likes baking. But she's, she's been flaked out all day. Whether outside or in, she's just been laying around because it is really, really hot. So I did have a bit of a day off. I didn't have the whole day. But I didn't really do much in terms of work. I got up and I had a look on the computer, just browsing about. Didn't really do anything. And then I suddenly realised, oh my God, I've got to go out. So I was meant to do something. I was meant to meet the boy's dad at 12 for something outside of like the supermarket. But then there was a really bad tailback, so we couldn't get on the island, so I didn't do that. But I was going shopping with Gary anyway, so I just went and got Gary, and we went around and spent far too much in the supermarket, basically. But we're all stocked up again now, all stocked up with the things we both needed for different diets. So yeah. And then I had the job of coming home and putting it all away. Hate that job, really hate that job. But it's got to be done. And some was for the freezer and some was for the fridge. And then there's still some stuff to sort out, though, to be honest. But I did manage to get some more toffee tea because I like that a lot. So, if you haven't seen it, if you didn't see my other video, I've got this and it is amazing. It's just gorgeous. It could be my new absolute favourite, I really, 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 really like it. So I thought before it's gone out the shop and I don't see it, getting some more. So I did. But I've got coffee right now. My one coffee of the day. So only since I've been doing this diet that I've actually had coffee. It has it's kind of the effects that I want rather than the taste. But I don't mind this one. I like this coffee actually. I only have it with cream, which you can have on low carb. So that's cool for me. Cool for me. So yeah, got quite a bit of shopping. Oh, that reminds me, I've got to transfer some money. Boo. But then I suddenly thought, that order I got from Temu, I didn't sort it out. So I did. I sorted all the bits out that meant to go out to the Yarnavan and did that. And I took my old computer out there. It's only been hanging around waiting for, since I got the new one, basically. So I thought, right, I'll take it out. And so I took it out. And all I can find of it is the screen and a mouse. So I don't know. I don't know where the keyboard is, and I don't know where the lead is, and I don't know where the mouse lead, because it charges up. No idea where any of those are. So I ought to find them because the lead is orange. So, can't hide from me. It's orange. And so is the other one, a bit orange. So I should actually find it. maybe. I thought it would be down there, but it's not. I thought I'd just slid the keyboard down there when I was putting the new one in. I have no idea. So it's not like I can boot it up and use it out there, which is what I intended. I thought, when I'm out there and I'm packing orders, especially if I have a mystery box, then I can do it on the computer, like the stocks and everything. Rather than writing it all on a piece of paper, coming in here and doing it, I can just do it straight away. And, meh. That's typical of me. Just lose it. Just lose it. Wonder where I've put them. It's the lead. It's not small. It's got a great big box on it for a start halfway up the lead. I don't know where it is. I don't have that many places that are big enough to stash it. So, yeah, whatever. I don't know. Guess I'll find it eventually. So, yeah, the reason there was this massive tailback coming onto this island was the bridge buckled. Well, the support, the strut, the thing that I think joins, when they make a bridge, they do that bit and then they do that bit and then they slot a bit in. I think the bit where it meets are buckled in the heat, which I can't understand. It is ridiculously hot, but still, there have been days when temperature is near the 40-degree mark, whatever that is in Fahrenheit. Didn't buckle then. So why now? I know it's an intense sun. It really is. Oh, I slathered on the Factor today. I've got one that it's called Once, so I just thought I'd use that. And I made sure it had no limonene in it, so I put that on first on my arms and my face so that I didn't burn to a crisp. And it worked. So yeah, went in Aldi, had a look around they've got like a bin section that's where the yarn usually lives and stuff like that, just see if they had any interesting bits. They had nothing that was interesting whatsoever. So we didn't really spend much money in there. I think Gary just wanted his prawns in there and that was it really. But yeah, I went in all the places. Then I drove home. I dropped him back off at work first, obviously, and then I drove home. And it was kind of nice because I haven't driven my car for a while. And I've had this blob on my sensor. Cheers. It looked like a gigantic bird poop right in the middle of the reversing sensor. Now, to be honest with you, I've never had a reversing sensor. It's a camera, this one. I've had a sensor where it goes beep, beep, beep. Never really paid much attention to it because I can reverse my car anyway. The very first thing I ever did when I passed my test was reverse into every single car parking space to make sure I was good at it, because I wasn't going to be one of these people that couldn't do it. So, I've never had a camera, but I've got one now. And I've got used to it now with the weird little lines that come up on it and everything. But right in the centre of it was this gigantic blob. So I said when I pulled up and let Gary out, I went, do me a favour. When you go in work, see if there's something you can clean that sensor with. So it didn't really clean off when I had my car cleaned, which was weird. So Gary cleaned the windscreen or the back screen, and he said, is it gone? I said, no. So we couldn't figure out where it was. So when I came home, I got a brush and some soapy water, and I went out there and I thought, I bet there's this bit that's like an overhang like that, and I thought, I bet it's under there. And there was like a cobweb and a big blob of bird poop there. So I just cleaned the whole lot off and dried it and cleaned the back window while I was there. And when I went to reverse back into my parking space, it was crystal clear. So I found it. I found the culprit. But yeah, it's a nice big splodge. And there was one time when we got back, I think it was when we got back from holiday, and we went to reverse in, and it was just like smear. It's like, that works really well, doesn't it? Yeah. Still never had one before. Never reversed into the house yet. So, don't really need it now, I suppose. Oh, so yeah, I was sorry I was a bit flat yesterday. I I'm not massively buoyant today. I'm not flat as I was yesterday though. But yeah, I kind of felt like I was, you know, when you're on a treadmill, you know, or when you're banging your head against the wall and you're not really getting anywhere, that sort of thing. That's how I felt yesterday, but I don't feel quite so bad today. And yeah, I think it's sort of passing as well. The problems that I've had with YouTube especially are passing. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry if it went... I forget I'm wearing it. I didn't wear it yesterday, did I? But yeah, sorry about that. I'm going to rest my tea on you. Sorry, coffee. Oops. Sorry. I have to think about that more often. It's all very well pinning these things in. Can't remember where they are. Yeah. Anyway, guys, did a little whip along for yesterday, and I was quite surprised because I got home from work, got home from shopping, put all the shopping away, and I came in and I kind of booted up the computer, and when I looked, it was like, whoa, that kind of went really well. I thought there wouldn't be that many people sitting around waiting for someone to spend some time with. I thought everybody would be out in the sun, but maybe people are trying to avoid it because it is a bit on the relentless side. But then again, you might not be here. You might be over there, wherever you are. You probably are. You definitely are. But you know what I mean? You could be in Istanbul. You could be in Albuquerque. You could be in Chumbawamba. If that really, I don't think it's a place. I'm just trying to think of more funny sounding places. Because, you know, there are some funny sounding places, aren't there? I know that most of the funny sounding places in the US probably have Indian names. Probably. Maybe. Probably, maybe. Sounds like an album. Anyway, I'm going to slurp my last. Hang on. Num, 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 num. I really like that coffee. For once, it's an instant coffee that tastes like a good coffee. Do you know what I mean? It's usually instant is pretty... and it's that L''OR, law. It's really good, I have to say. Don't really want any. I like my coffee strong tasting, but Continental. You know, like the... You might not know, but when I was young, my parents took me to Spain, and I was never really a coffee drinker. And my mum said, "You'll love this coffee, though. You wait." And she didn't drink coffee, but she loved that. So she took me to this little market. It was in Benidorm. She took me to this little marketplace, and it was indoors. And we had a camper, you know, like a motorhome. And there was a special camper park, and it was just up the road from where we parked. We parked underneath pomegranate trees or orange trees. There was two times we parked, once under pomegranates, once under orange. It was a beautiful place. Lovely flowers and everything, just really well maintained. So we walked down the road, and there was this covered market, like indoor market. And in there was a stall that sold pies. Tarts. Oh my God. They were absolutely gorgeous. They were like this big for a portion, and they were chock full of fruit, like strawberries and a jelly, I guess. And then they had like a custard inside, and they had loads of cream on with a big strawberry on the top. And my mum said, "Would you like one of them?" And she said, "They are gorgeous." I said, yeah, go on then. And I had that and a cup of coffee, and it was amazing. It really was. And that was my first ever taste of Continental coffee, which knocked ours out the park, you know. So, yeah. But it was beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And the only kind of, I mean, I do like Lavazza coffee and things like that, and I do buy one for my machine. It's called Rosso, Oh, Aura, something like that. That's the one I get now. But you know, when I went to college for a little while, it was only at the time I was revamping my qualifications. So I did business studies at school, which was shorthand, typing, commerce, and all that stuff. And I didn't really do much with the shorthand all my life. But obviously the typing I did. But I learnt to type on an Olympus old typewriter. We did have some electric ones out in the back office, and so every now and then a few of us would be on the electric typewriters. And then they had a word processor, but my God, it looked weird. It was a great big cumbersome lump of, well, junk basically. So I never really used that. So when I left school and then I started having kids, and when I wanted to go back into the workforce, so I didn't really want to, but I was kind of having to have to go back into the workforce when Michael started school. I thought my qualifications are out of date, really. Why don't I just do a short course in word processing? So I'd signed up at the local college, which, you know, gone now. All of the places that you could do stuff like this, just gone, really. And I signed up for a short course and reinvented my little qualification. I got a distinction pass. So proud of myself. So, because, you know, I'd never touched proper computers before, only my little home thing, but wow. So anyway, whenever we'd go to the refectory, and it's the first time I ever encountered the word refectory, it was like exotic. How pathetic was I? I was just young. So yeah, going to the refectory, and they'd have all this stuff that I hadn't got a clue what it was. So I looked and I said, "Can I have coffee, please?" Because the tea was rank. So she said, "Which would you like?" And I looked and there was all these names and I went, "Oh, I'll try the Java, please." So this black, dark thing come back at me. I thought, oh, don't think I'm going to like this very much. And I took a sip of it and I thought, oh my God, I love this. So I would always have the Java, but every single time that I had a cup of Java, as soon as I'd finish it, I'd have a headache. It was so strong. But I was addicted to it. Such a strong flavour. I was so addicted to this stuff. And every time I'd have one, I'd be like, oh, I need some paracetamol now. But yeah, it was lovely. So then, sometime later, I was shopping in Canterbury. And they had a tea shop that was all over the country. And I think there's still maybe one, probably Croydon or somewhere like that, called Whittards of Chelsea. There's probably one in Chelsea then, really, to be honest. But that's what the name was. Whittards of Chelsea. And they used to sell all these amazing teas, which I didn't try because just English breakfast, that's all I really want. I don't want any of them odd teas, thank you very much. I'm more into the odd tea now than I used to be, but they were mostly fruity, and that's not my thing. So, but they had coffees that they used to grind up, and they would grind them to whichever sort of thickness you wanted them ground. So if it was for a cafetiere, you know, the plungy thing, then you could grind them for that. Or if it was a filter coffee maker like I have out there, they would do that particular sort of coarseness. And if it was for a percolator, then it would be done for that. So yeah, but there's all these grades, all these different types. So you could say, can I have a bit of the Santos and a bit of the Java, please, together? And you could mix them. I was getting quite good at mixing those coffee beans back then, but then they went under. So really, you just go in the shop and you see what's on the countertop, you know, on the shelves rather, and you think, give that one a try. Get it home, make one, go, really like that very much. And so yeah, it's quite unfortunate, you know. So I go in there and think, I try the Colombian and try this one, and then you find them that you know ones you really liked. I miss that shop, I do. And there was another shop that I missed that was called Oil and Vinegar. They used to do the most amazing kind of vintage balsamic vinegar in there. Absolutely gorgeous. Really, really nice and great with strawberries. I know that sounds weird, but it was fantastic with strawberries. Like, you know, old kind of vintage balsamic vinegar with a strawberry. You dip it in and it just brings the strawberry flavour to life. It's really nice. Anyway, that's just two shops that bit the dust that I really miss. And I know there probably is one or two left in the country, but none near me and none that I've seen. Guess what happened today? Gary came home from work with some more jokes. Yeah. So we got some jokes. He's written them very small this time. We'll celebrate by doing one of the new ones. Definitely need my specs. So we'll do this little one here because then I can get rid of that piece of paper. Where are we? Soldier, why did you blow your cover and run out of those bushes? Soldier, sorry sir, I stayed still when a dog peed on me. I stayed still when a snake crawled over my neck. Sergeant, then what happened? Soldier, two squirrels ran up my pants and one said, let's eat one now and save the other one for winter. That's when I lost it, sir. Obviously. Squirrels like a nut. Bless him. Bless him. He made us new jokes. Isn't that sweet? We've got a couple more small ones, but I shall put them at the back. Should we do the one that we should have done today as a celebration to having new jokes, because I'm on the last one of the page. Life is like a penis. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, but it's never hard forever, and it's also short. Oh, Gary, you are funny. Bless him. Right, so should we do the small ones? Yeah, we'll do the small ones. We can't put them at the back. That's where I put the done ones. I'm not doing very well here, am I? Okay. I'm sorted now. Put that away. It was a nice pouch, just now a bit of a crumpled mess, but still, it keeps them together. Excuse me, I've got an itchy ear. So we had a quote for Friday. We've got a picture for the weekend of a silhouetted figure. Yeah, could have been a grogu. That's all I've got to say on the subject. Where is my grogi? Rather have a grogu. Oh, so yeah, still getting over the fact that I've got to have an operation on my eye. I know it's a procedure, not really an operation, but I guess the procedure is really a small operation, isn't it? It's not like major surgery, not like I had before, where I was on the table for like 8 hours solid. And I said to Gary the other day when we were talking about it, I said, it doesn't feel like I've had major surgery, because I missed a day. The whole day went. I was on that table and I woke up and it was evening. So, and that evening was the most dreadful evening. I was sort of slept for 10 minutes, woke up, slept for 10 minutes, woke up, slept for 10 minutes. This was how I went on for a couple of days, basically. But yeah, major surgery is what they say. It really is kind of life-changing at the time. But now all that distance has gone by, it's like it didn't really happen. I don't bear any kind of trauma from it. The whole ordeal, it's like it didn't happen to me. It's weird, isn't it? I mean, no, it did. I've got this scar that goes from behind my ear all the way across here. And, sometimes I have trouble with food swallowing. And sometimes I have trouble because of swelling in scar tissue that makes me have a bit of a funny lisp, which doesn't really sound to you, but I can tell. And sometimes I get lymphedema, which annoys me. So, and that in turn makes my tinnitus worse, I think, when I've got all this fluid build up that kind of happens. So I've got these little reminders, there are reminders, but at the same time, it is weird because it's like it didn't happen. It's like it just didn't happen. Weird, isn't it, really? Something that big, you can just forget it. And I think, that is what our brains do, that we're kind of conditioned to do that. Because otherwise, we'd never have 2 kids, would we? Let's face it, if we didn't really forget, I know we can look back and we can remember and pull those memories out. But if our brain didn't shelve them like it never really happened and we can get over it, then we just wouldn't produce another one. And I think that is just something that we women have. So, yeah. But it is weird. It's like, yeah, it didn't really happen. But, yeah, I did. I laid on a table and was out of it, being operated on for 8 hours or more. That's bizarre, That's just incredible that happened. I just don't remember it really, I guess. It was instantaneous for me. That's yeah. But I do remember that I kind of went out with my hair being all nice and having a kind of I was losing weight at the time, so less chins and my face was slimmer and I felt quite good about myself. And I woke up like Quasimodo, and that I'll never forget, waking up like a Quasimodo, looking in the mirror and just going, oh my God. Yeah, that's one thing I'll never forget. I didn't take pictures. I mean, I took pictures sometime later of my scar, the zip, as I like to call it. So it was staples, so it looked like a zip. So I did take pictures, and the swelling was somewhat subsided by then. When I first woke up, it was massive. It was like out here, and I had 2 drains, and it was just absolutely awful. So yeah, I can pull the memories out, obviously, but it's weird because in every day, you just totally forget it ever happened, which is probably for the best, isn't it? No one wants to remember that, really. But I think the human brain is an amazing thing for doing stuff like that, though. Kind of move on. And you do. Anyway, guys, got my little drinky. Now, I did a little test earlier, and hang on. I've got to shake this without getting covered in it this time. I learnt to pinch the straw. I did a little test earlier with one of those keto strips and to see if I was in ketosis, and it said I was in slightly more than trace, but not much. It wasn't very pink. So I thought the things that the supplements that I'm doing, like this, and the things that I'm taking, are they stopping me from being in ketosis? Because I know that I lose a chunk of weight and then I sort of lose this sort of skin, if you like, or the fat. It just body evens out. Then I lose a chunk of weight and it goes in that cycle. So I know that happens to me, but I don't want it plateauing, So are the things that every time I research something, it says this is perfect for low carb because it doesn't have any carbs in it. So this thing is meant to have 0 carbs. I don't have that many 0 drinks in a day because I know they can knock you out. So yeah, I might have to bring it back to basics. I've got to do something to keep the cramps away though, because I just cannot do that. That was a very strange morning. I woke up with cramp in both calves. First it was that leg, and I'm trying to pull my foot forward, and then that leg as well, and I'm pulling both feet forward. Then that toe, so I'm like this. It was really bizarre, and I just got up in the end and hoped it'd go away. So yeah, don't want to go back to that. Contorting myself to stop cramping. Oh, wonder who that is. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get off, upload this here video. So I haven't filmed all the winners yet, but I will do. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.